Red Bull and Ferrari have shared the top step of the podium in all 13 Grand Prix this season, 9 and 4 respectively, while Mercedes has struggled to get into the mix with a W13 car that began the season with heavy porpoising. That was causing problems for drivers Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, but the problem has since been resolved, and Mercedes' results have improved, bagging 2 consecutive double podiums. However, there is still room for improvement, but the gap between them and the frontrunner may be gone, with the technical directive issued by the FIA to take effect after the Belgian Grand Prix, relating to the car's flaws and designed to reduce porpoising and protect the drivers. However, opposition has been expressed, with Red Bull team principal Christian Horner stating that teams previously had the option to raise the floor height on their own accord, but would not do so due to the performance loss. Meanwhile, Ferrari's Matteo Binotto maintains that there is no reason to label the whole situation as a safety issue. Mercedes motorsport boss Toto Wolff, on the other hand, believes self-interest is at work among the top 2 teams in the constructors' standings this season. During a media interview, Wolff was asked if Red Bull and Ferrari's shared stance was a ruse to trip him up. "I think they would rather continue to be the 2 of them at the top than have a third guest at the party. When you put pressure on the FIA, there is always a potential advantage in everything, and we have done that in the past. But on this issue, I see it very differently. On several occasions, there has been no hesitation in making changes to the regulations for safety issues. I might also add, we have now understood the porpoising problems with our car. We got pole position for the last race, but that doesn't change anything. It's irrelevant. We are talking about something that damages the health of the drivers. I strongly believe countermeasures have to be taken to make sure next year this problem will be a distant memory. The FIA has no choice. It has to do something. And I think in the face of this problem, having teams lobbying for or against a measure is completely irrelevant. It is a medical issue and it has to be answered. As previously stated, the FIA will monitor porpoising and make changes to the stiffness requirements of the underfloor plank and skids, beginning with the Belgian Grand Prix at the end of the month. And this is also believed that the FIA is putting measures in place to prohibit some teams from flexing their floors and planks to gain performance, with reports pointing to Ferrari and Red Bull as the main culprits. Christian Horner, meanwhile, has denied using a flexing floor in their cars to gain a significant advantage. The Briton claimed they were unconcerned about their floor and dismissed Toto Wolff's claims. When asked if the claims were true, Horner stated, "That's total rubbish. Total rubbish. I think we're getting issues mixed up here." Maybe he's referring to, cars that are around him at the moment. I have no idea. But I have absolutely no issues or concerns on our floor. While Red Bull has maintained that their cars are legal, Wolff has stated that the team has taken advantage of rules loopholes to flex their floors and gain an advantage. Describing the 2 tricks used by their rivals, Wolff said, "As a matter of fact, some teams have skids that actually disappear when the car hits the bottom. The reason for skids is that they are the limitation of how much plank wear you can have. And if a skid can disappear miraculously into the floor, that is clearly against the regulations. Then, the second thing is a plank that can deflect or that basically also moves away more than the tolerance should be. The tolerance is 1 millimeter, and if a plank moves away many more millimeters up into the car, obviously you gain some performance there too. While the full impact of the technical directive will be felt in Spa, as it was only an advisory measure in the races preceding the summer break, Mercedes driver George Russell believes it could benefit Mercedes against its front-running rivals. I think there is no doubt that Ferrari and Red Bull will have pushed the regulations in that regard, and we've respected it as the regulation was intended. But there is no guarantees that it would bring them closer to us. We know if it was on our car, it would make us slower. There is no guarantees. Every car is different, but it is not going to help them, that is for sure. Reflecting on Mercedes' overall progress, Russell believes that if the German manufacturer can match the pace of Ferrari and Red Bull, it will be able to compete for regular podiums and possibly wins, having been impressed by the rate of improvement his team has produced with its W13 F1 car. Max and Red Bull are cruising. I think Max and Charles, they are on a similar level at the moment, but I really feel for Charles because he is doing a superb job at the minute and he has been on the receiving end of a lot of bad luck. Max and Red Bull are just absolutely solid week in, week out. We've seen from the last couple of race weekends that they can just bring the car home and pick up the pieces, but there is no doubt we are making progress. As a team, we finished almost a minute behind the race winner at the start of the season, but but now it's 10 seconds in the last couple of races. So if we can continue on that path, we will definitely be in the hunt. Spa is going to be interesting. There's going to be some changes to some regulations which may bring some other teams towards us. And I think we as a team have a lot of confidence in ourselves and faith that we are doing a great job. And there is no reason we can't be in the mix. Mercedes had at least one driver on the F1 podium in each of the 6 races between June's Azerbaijan Grand Prix and last month's Hungarian Grand Prix. On the F1 Nation podcast, Mercedes trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin commented on the team's progress. The real confidence is that we're doing the right things. The team's working well and we're going in the right direction. At the start of the year, if we got a podium, it was because 1 or 2 other cars made a mistake or they had reliability issues. We know where we want to get to with the team and the car. We want to be the quickest car. We want to be qualifying on pole, on merit. And these are all steps that we've got to go along that journey. We had a very difficult start point, but the team has really worked hard and really gelled to try and get this back on track. It's been an interesting challenge for us. I wouldn't say it's all been fun, but I think it's a challenge that the team will emerge stronger from. Andrew Shovlin reflected on the behaviour of the troubled W13 design in the hours after Mercedes finally took its first pole in the 2022 Formula 1 season at the Hungarian Grand Prix, sounding rather like the 8-time Constructors' Champion squad had been confused by its own car. This car has been particularly annoying in the way it gives you glimpses of performance and what might be, to a level where it's difficult for us to just give up on it. It sucks you in a bit from an engineering point of view. It was easy to recall the teased behavioural breakthroughs he was referring to. Such elements were present in Mercedes' back-to-back double podiums in France and Hungary with Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. All the hope that upgrades and circuit characteristics might make Paul Ricard Mercedes' weekend of redemption was initially dashed by poor practice and qualifying performances that baffled the team, before race circumstances turned things back in its favour. The weekend in Hungary began with a terrible Friday of head-scratching. As things stand during the summer break, Mercedes' inconsistency has 2 major consequences. For starters, it means that the W13 has too much potential for Mercedes to write off and devote all of its resources to a 2023 design that is more in line with the ideas of the 2022 championship frontrunners. As a result, more upgrades are on the way, beginning with Spa. But it also means that Mercedes' elation at fighting for victory in Hungary is tempered by the fact that they have no idea whether that performance is repeatable. However, one theme that emerged from everything Mercedes leadership said in Hungary and afterwards was that the team is finally now building a reliable data bank about the car's habits and is getting somewhere with understanding it. So they may not be caught off guard as frequently in the future. What do you guys think of Mercedes' progress? Will they be a front-running team again before the season is out? What are your thoughts on the flexi floor controversy? Is Red Bull skirting the rules to gain an advantage? We'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos.